Okay, so what if I told you that a couple of ancient historical books, written for a nation in exile, actually hold the entire blueprint for a financial trader's career? No, really. I'm talking about everything from building your very first system to navigating the glory of a winning streak, and yeah, even recovering from a catastrophic failure. Let's dive in and see how this ancient blueprint can guide a modern trader's journey.
Right off the bat, we have to face this question. This is the core reason 1 Chronicles was written in the first place, for a nation trying to figure out who they were and how to rebuild. And you know what? It's the exact same question every single one of us traders has to face. It forces us to think beyond today's profits and losses and get to the heart of our identity, our purpose, and the kingdom we're trying to build with every trade we take. So this ancient source does something brilliant. It frames a trader's entire career into 2 distinct parts, like 2 bucks, giving us a really clear arc for the whole journey. On one hand, you have 1 Chronicles. Think of this as your manual for building the whole operation. This is where you figure out your identity, your rules, your legacy, basically your kingdom. Then you've got 2 Chronicles, which is the roadmap for your actual career, the part where you navigate the glory, the inevitable fall that can come from pride, and most importantly, the powerful path back to restoration.
All right, so let's start with Act 1, building the thing. This part is all about the principles from First Chronicles for creating a trading operation that's solid and built to last, kind of like how King David prepared everything for his son Solomon to build the temple.
The source gives us 3 foundational pillars. First, know your history. You know those really long, kind of boring family trees in the book? Well, that's your trading journal. Every single win, every loss, every dumb mistake, that's your genealogy. It's the raw data that tells you who you really are as a trader, and it reveals patterns you'd totally miss otherwise. Second, organize your protocols. The temple had these super precise assignments for every single role. For us, that means every part of our process, from pre-market prep to post-session review, becomes a non-negotiable rule. This is what pulls emotion and ego out of your decision-making. And finally, pillar number 3, prepare your legacy. David put in all this work preparing for a temple he knew he would never build himself. So the real question is your system so clear, so well documented that someone else could step in and execute it tomorrow? That is the ultimate test of a truly robust operation.
Man, this is such a powerful idea for a trader. The real goal isn't just about piling up capital for yourself, it's about building something. A system, a body of knowledge that's so solid it can exist even without your day-to-day involvement. So you have to ask yourself, are you just building a job for yourself, or are you actually building a legacy?
So let's say you've done it. You've built the kingdom, it's strong, it's profitable. Now we get to Act 2, the warning. This is where we step into the world of 2 Chronicles, which shows us that the biggest danger isn't failure, it's the pride that comes with success. This right here, this is the peak moment. The temple is done, and glory fills the house. For a trader, this is that feeling when your system is just humming along, you found your edge, and you're in a state of consistent, disciplined excellence. It's that moment we all work so hard for. But you know what? It's also the most dangerous moment of your career. To protect ourselves from this, the source gives us a really powerful framework it calls the Isaiah Protocol. It's named after King Isaiah, and his story is a huge cautionary tale for any trader who's on a winning streak. His journey is a stark warning. Strength leads to pride, and pride always, always leads to destruction. You know, the arc of pride follows this terrifyingly predictable path. It all starts with seeking guidance, and that leads to strength and success. But if that strength goes unchecked, it just morphs into pride. And pride makes you think you can break your own rules, that you can overstep your role. And that violation, well, it always leads to destruction. For a trader, this looks like skipping your checklist, oversizing your positions, or thinking you're smarter than the market. A winning streak is the time to get more disciplined, not less. Which, of course, brings us to Act 3, the inevitable crisis. That major drawdown, the blown account, the psychological exile that every trader dreads. That moment when the kingdom you worked so hard to build feels like it's just in ruins. The source uses this just devastating phrase that perfectly captures that feeling of catastrophic failure. Your system, which was once filled with glory, is now stripped bare. The rules might still be written down somewhere, but the character and the discipline that made them work are gone. But this is where the story turns. I want you to meet Manasseh, literally the worst king in Judah's history. He was captured, completely disgraced, and dragged to Babylon in chains. He was at rock bottom. Yet from that absolute pit of despair, he humbled himself, and he was restored. The The lesson here is so profound. It doesn't matter how badly you've messed up. No trading history is so broken that it can't be redeemed.
So, how do you actually do this? Well, the source gives us a clear 3-step protocol for restoration. First, you have to humble yourself. This means radical ownership, acknowledging the breakdown with zero excuses. Then, you seek your foundation. This is about going back to square one: deep study, patient observation, and absolutely no rushing back into the market to try and win it back. Finally, you have to actively turn from your bad habits. This means identifying the specific rule violations. You know the ones: the revenge trades, the ignored stop losses, and making a clean break, not just for a little while, completely.
And that path, that protocol of restoration, it leads us to the final, incredibly powerful resolution of this entire story. It's the message of hope we find at the very, very end of 2nd Chronicles. After all of it, the glory, the pride, the destruction, and the exile, the final word isn't ruin, it's a decree. It's a call to action. Let him go up. Your trading exile is never permanent. The call to rebuild is for everyone, no matter how badly you failed. Whoever is among you, that means no exceptions, no disqualifications.
So, the ultimate takeaway is this: your career isn't just some random series of wins and losses. It's the story of a kingdom, one that's being built, that's being tested, maybe it's even been lost, but it always has the chance to be restored. So the only question that really matters is, what chapter are you writing today? Are you building? Are you navigating? Or are you rebuilding?